Hi, it's Martin and welcome to another video on my Knit365 YouTube channel. This is Martin in the edit, popping along just to tee up this video because I realised as I was editing this together, can you tell I'm suffering from jet lag? I realised as I was editing this together that I didn't do this introduction to camera. So we're going to go straight into the start of my morning and then we're going to go through the video and we're going to go to a yarn shop. It is the third Monday of the holiday. My brother, Mark, and Katie's dad have gone to play golf. Katie, her mum, and the kids have gone to Magic Kingdom. And I'm going to a yarn shop. So it was always in the plan that we had the Monday as a free day. The lads decided they were going to play golf. So I was like, right, if no one needs the car that day, I'm going to see if I can find a yarn shop. So that's what we're doing in this video. We are going to go to the Four Purls yarn shop, which is in Orlando. But as I was editing this footage on the plane home, I realised I didn't actually have the talkie bit to camera. It just starts off with my very early morning. So I was up usually before most people on the holiday, me and Katie's mum. But I was up a little bit earlier on this day, probably excited to go yarn shopping. And I didn't do any introduction or any talky bits. We start with a bit of a early morning and then we go to the yarn shop. So I'm just here to tee this up. I'm now going to go and then I'll be back at the end of the video and show you what I bought. Right, I'm in the car. Proof I'm not driving. We are now, it's 10:30 on Monday. You know that already. Let's go to Starbucks. I packed my bag. This car is massive. It fits 8 people. So there's baby boy's seat. And then usually dad is sitting there, my brother. Pappy, Katie's dad, is there, and then Liv is in that one, I think, then Nanny, then Mum, my sister-in-law. So I'm off. Let's go to Starbucks and then we can cast on the third swatch. I want to get the third swatch done today, but let's go and get some coffee. That was a very bad American accent. So there we go. I am back home now. As you saw from the very quick introduction that I just did, I'm back home. It is now Wednesday. We got back yesterday. We landed at 7:30 UK time yesterday morning, having taken off at 6 p.m. Monday. So we kind of flew through the night, which was great, but not for the jet lag. I'm back to work today for a half day this afternoon. So I'm just going to do this bit of a wrap up now, and then I can get this video uploaded to YouTube then, hopefully, so you can watch this on Wednesday, fingers crossed. And this will be the first of a couple of videos that will follow from my wonderful trip away. So the yarn shop that we went to was just, it wasn't a recommendation, it was just, I didn't finish that sentence, did I? It was just wonderful. I finished it in my head, then I went to the next bit. It was just amazing. It was a wonderful yarn shop to go to, and it wasn't a recommendation that I had from anybody. It was a Google search that I started months ago when I was looking around for yarn shops, and I saw that they had Spin Cycle, online, so I knew it was going to be a good yarn store and one that would appeal to me. And yeah, so we went. And I just had the best few hours looking around the yarn shop. The staff there were incredibly helpful. They were incredibly friendly and welcoming. And as you saw from that store, from the footage that you've just seen, it was massive. It was a huge yarn store. The two walls, like you saw the wall of yarn. It was a lot of yarn. And what I loved was they had a mix of yarns. So a lot of the yarn was by this brand, Emma's Yarn. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But they had Spin Cycle. They had La Bien-Aimée. They had lots of other amazing yarn, which I tried to do what I usually do in my footage from the kind of when we go out and about to yarn stores. I try and film the bits that interest me, but the bits I think that will interest you folks as well. So hopefully we saw a mix of yarns. And the yarn store, Four Purls, they have a website. I'll pop all of their details below. And yeah, it was just a wonderful way to spend a few hours. So a lot of the yarn in the store was Emma's Yarn. And I was talking to one of the staff members there whose name escapes me, and I'm really, really sorry that I've forgotten your name if you watch this. Emma's Yarn is their in-house yarn, and Emma is the daughter of the owner of the store. And what the lady was telling me is Emma's Yarn started out almost by accident because it started as a school project where the owner of the store, Mum, was talking to Emma, and they were doing some maths examples. And in order to work through different percentages and the impact the different percentages have, they were doing, they had dye in a jar, and they were doing different percentages of the dye into the water. They then put some minis in that and then dyed them up. And then Emma bought those to the knit night that took place at the store, and people bought the yarn and went, oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I'll buy that. And then someone else said, oh, I really like that, but actually if you did that kind of a color, I would buy that. And it just started from there. And it started out as a school project that Emma then just found a love for, fell into dyeing, and now is stocked in 200 stores in the US. They're stocked in the UK. There's a shop here in the UK that stocks them. They are stocked in a store in Japan. They've got this huge online presence. So it's such a wonderful story of how the yarn business just developed from almost a school project or help with some homework that has now turned into this massive yarn brand. And I loved seeing all the different bases and all the different styles and colorways and the mini walls at the end of the store. I think I put some footage in of that, of the little bookshelves with all the different minis in. Just a wonderful amount of yarn, and yeah, it was such a lovely story to hear. So I picked up a souvenir skein of Emma's Yarn. So this is very my colours, it's grey. But what I really love is these kind of flashes of rainbow that are in the yarn. I'm not sure what this is going to be yet, but it will be my souvenir skein from Florida. It is on the super silky base, and this is called the Crazy Beautiful Colour. So I really love that. So I had to buy that. That was my souvenir scheme. And then the other things that I bought Spin Cycle, because I do have one skein of Spin Cycle in my stash that is one of those. I bought it to make a pattern by Max of Le Gasson, and I will cast it on at some point, but it was very much I've only got that one skein. I really want to, I'm not ready to start it yet. It's just sitting there because Spin Cycle in the UK is really expensive. It's an American brand. Obviously, we're paying the import and the shipping to get it over here. But I was talking to the lady in the store. So this worked out about, so this is it's upside down. This is the dyed in the wool base. So this is the fingering base. Sport weight base. And in the UK, this is about £34 for a 50 gram skein. Over there in America, it worked out about £24. So a considerable saving. So I picked up some spin cycle to make 2 projects, and again will be really lovely souvenir projects for my holiday. So I've picked up 3 skeins of the I've forgotten the base already, the dyed in the wool base. So this one is Something Wicked, this one is Dream World, and this one is Standard Blues. And I'm going to make a shift shawl by Andrew Mowry. So my ideal is this way for the colours. So dark, into medium, into light. Some of my hand spun does look a little bit, I'm not saying I'm like spin cycle, but by chain plying them together, I kind of get this barber pole effect. But as we know, long-time viewers of the channel, I cannot spin this thin when I ply it up yet. So at some point, maybe my spinning will improve enough for me to make a shift cowl or a shift shawl by Andrew Mowry. But for now, these are going to be my colours, and they're very me. Definitely the tealy colours in here, the bluesy colours in here, and I got that one as a slightly darker colour. But again, the greens pick up. So I'm really looking forward to getting those 3 started. So that's one project that I bought yarn for, and then I just couldn't leave this there. So I picked up 2 skeins of the bulky, so this is the bulky weight spin cycle. So this is the Stay Ready on the plump base, very me, the greys. And this is the Vibe Check colorway. And as I was in the store, I was sitting down on one of the comfy chairs. I was browsing through Ravelry looking for patterns. So I wanted to make sure I had the right yarn quantity for Andrea's pattern of that one. And I saw a bulky brioche hat pattern. And it's a massive hat. Now I like a hat, and I like a big hat. I don't mind having a signature hat. I think chunky yarn is amazing. So these are going to be a brioche. I'll put the name of the pattern on screen because I've forgotten it and I don't have the way to look it up while I'm talking to you now. So I'll pop the name of the pattern on screen, and I'll pop a photo on screen now of what the hat will be. And of course, because it's going to be brioche, it'll be reversible. So I think my main color will be the gray. So that will be my predominant color. But then inside you'll have the flashes of this color. And then obviously you can turn it out, and then it will be a super bright color with a little gray. So I think that'll be something that I cast on relatively quick soon, I think, because it should be a quick knit. And I'm quite excited by brioche projects at the moment. So yeah, that will be a great one to have. So they were the yarn purchases. I did pick up this really cute little project tag because I figured on my shawl, I can then sew that on. Again, a really nice little momentum from Four Purls. That is my Four Purls shift shawl. And I couldn't leave these here. You probably saw them in the video, but of course I had to have some of the Mickey Mouse or Mickey Top needle stoppers, because you're in Disney, right? You need everything that's Mickey related. So I picked up those as well. And I was very restrained. That was all I bought. I'm obviously trying this year to work more with my stash and be more mindful of my purchases. So my yarn in has now increased by, I don't know, what skeins are these? So they are, I need to weigh them because my pattern, my measurements this year are weighed. So that's 100 yards and it just says 100% superwash. I think these are 50 grams. So I think I've got 150 grams in there. I've got 100 gram skein here. These are probably going to be 100 grams, but I'll weigh them and I'll declare them in my July roundup. When that video comes, I will add these to the tallies, but I'm trying to be more mindful with my stash. So I could have gone absolutely crazy. I sort of sweat a quantity of Emma's yarn. There was this really lovely worsted weight in this gorgeous blue that it could have been, I could have bought so much, but I bought projects that I think will make me appreciate them more and be more reflective of my time in America. So yeah, that was my trip to the Four Purls yarn shop. If you are ever in Florida and you can get there, I would highly recommend it. If you're on holiday in Disney or in the Orlando area, it was about half an hour. We stayed in Kissimmee, which is about 20 minutes to Disney from the villa that we were in. So if my geography is gonna be awful, but if you just imagine, bad example, but Kissimmee's here, Disney was like 20 minutes up there. The yarn shop was like half an hour down that way. So it's slightly away from Disney. So depending on where you stay on the map, have a look at it, definitely look it up, because I would recommend. And if you're in the States and you are gonna be visiting Florida, or you're in one of the states or nearby, I would absolutely recommend you go there. It was such a wonderful store. I said I had a wonderful reception, and it was a great way to have a bit of a solo date. We had a great holiday and loads of stories to tell. I've got another video coming up with all the things I knit while I was away. Lots of footage of the holiday. So that video is going to be coming next week. I met up with Irina from Fiber Chats while I was there. So we sat down and we did an interview, podcast, chatty style. So that's coming. So there's loads of stuff to share. But I wanted to just have this one specifically dedicated to my yarn shop and my shopping. And it came at the right time, at the beginning of the third week. We'd spent 2 weeks all together as a big group of 8, 6 adults, the 2 kids. And it was really nice at that point to have a bit of a solo date day, going off to Starbucks, just driving in the car. It actually took me about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. The traffic was awful on the interstate going there. But it was nice. I got in the car, I put a podcast on, I had a little takeaway Starbucks, and off I went. So I had a wonderful day. So yeah, lots more Florida stuff to share. I'm excited to show you what I knit and crocheted while I was away, and share some of the footage and how I found knitting and crocheting on holiday in the heat, going through security in all the parks, security on the plane. All of that's going to come in another video. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed a couple of quiet weeks when I've not been blogging. We've got a few weeks now where there's not been a main video, so hopefully this will be a welcome, or was a welcome surprise in your YouTube feed. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you don't yet subscribe. It's wonderful to have you all here as part of my Knit365 community, and I hope you enjoyed coming out and about with me to visit a yarn shop in Orlando. So I'll be back next week with my What Did I Knit in Florida video, but I'm going to edit these bits together now, get this up on the YouTube, and then probably have a little sleep. The jet lag has been okay so far. I heard from my brother this morning, Noah, our nephew, he's 3. He was awake at 2 a.m. and said, "Daddy, can we watch a film?" So bless him, his little body clock is all over the shop. And as a 3-year-old, probably doesn't understand regulator and time zones and all the rest of it. So I'm probably going to have a little nap after I've done this. I'm feeling okay. We'll see. But yes, thank you very much for being here. Let me know in the comments below. Have you been to that yarn shop? Do you like going to yarn shops on tour when you're away? Is that one of the first things you do? Let me know. Let's get chatting in the comments. So I will leave it there. And until we speak again, happy crafting.